What's up, Calvert faithful? And this is obviously Coach Sneed, and we are in the week of One Heart Athletics, Calvert Sports Camps, and I'm so grateful that you guys have decided to join on this and actually go out there and serve our community in the capacity that you will this week. It's just an extension of what you guys do during regular season as you serve our community through the sports that you coach. But for those folks and those kiddos to see you guys and our players in action during this week of camps is something I think brings a great deal of positivity and perspective to our school culture and how awesome Calvert is. And so I appreciate you guys. I will be sending out an update on numbers. They haven't changed a whole lot. But I know that you guys are looking to see that so that way you can kind of figure out your camp structure. I know that you guys have been working on that already, and I know that you'll continue to do so. I just wanted to go over some basics because we obviously have some folks who are new to this, and then we have some that just need a general reminder. Last year you guys crushed it, but I want to make sure that we're all on the same page. So this year the camp layout is similar to last year. Football 101, 102, 103 camp will be over on the practice field behind the visitors' bleachers of the stadium. Cheer will be on the home side bleachers, I believe, but they may be on the visitor side track area in front of those bleachers. We'll have tennis, which is new this year. They'll obviously be on the tennis court. And then down there on the field where we generally have lacrosse, girls lacrosse, and soccer practice, we're going to have boys lacrosse, girls lacrosse, and field hockey. Now we've got 3 separate fields, all evenly spaced. You guys are each flirting with 10 kids in your groups. So lacrosse, boys lacrosse is going to be closest to the softball field, the varsity softball field. Field hockey is going to be in the middle, and that way you guys can shoot, towards the tree line and don't have to worry about interference. Boys lacrosse will be shooting and taking their shots towards the backfield fence of the softball field. And then girls lacrosse will be on the last field closest to the trailers or the water tower, and they'll be shooting away from everybody towards the trailer. So that'll keep everybody safe and ready to go. Now, obviously, that's where we're going to hold our sessions, but that's not where the kids are going to start off tomorrow because they've got to check in. And so before talking about the check-in process, want to talk about our counselors and how important they are. So our counselors are our, athletes, our student athletes. Some of them for us will be graduates. Maybe they're graduates for you. Others are current, student athletes at Calvert High. And it's vital that they participate in this because it gives them a chance to serve. It gives them a chance to understand the value of serving. It also gives them a chance to look at the game or the sport that they're playing or you're coaching from the lens of a coach. Now, obviously, that doesn't mean that they coach, right? Because we don't want to put that risk or liability in their hands exclusively. But they should. They should be a mentor towards the campers. I believe that what we say as coaches, as old adults, the kids will remember. But what really resonates and what builds the memories is our interaction with our Cavaliers, our student athletes. And so we're going to harp on our student athletes to shine. I'm going to send a morning, pickup, a morning enthusiastic motivational video that you guys can share with those counselors each day. I'll send them to you and you can send them to your counselors just to inspire them and to keep them going because they are the shining stars. They're the ones that make this thing go. They're the ones that the kids will go home talking to mom and dad about. And so we want to stay on our kids. I would strongly encourage your counselors to have their phones put away. The best thing you can do is leave it home or in their cars so they're not a distraction. Phones away because they need to have their attention solely on our campers. That means that the campers are engaged, our counselors are engaged, and if anything goes awry or a camper needs assistance, our counselors can let us know. Our counselors are obviously used for demonstrations, for holding hand shields, for holding a stick if you're playing lacrosse, and moving cones, helping you run drills. Obviously under the guardianship and the control of you because you are the primary instructors. And those counselors should be able to mitigate and run what you set up, but they should never obviously have their hands on the kids exclusively by themselves. So stay on those counselors, work them hard, but encourage them because they are the bright and shining star of our camp. So that's the scoop for the counselors. We're going to go through right now what check-in process looks like because your counselors are going to be involved in that. When they come, the parents and the kids, and by the way, I'm encouraging the parents to stay and hang out because I believe they can learn a lot from watching you coach and the way you positively encourage their student athletes to perform. I think there's a lot of that needs to be shared because I know that you guys all encourage and strongly inspire our athletes at Calvert High. And so I want the parents to be there to see us in our glory. But with the counselors coming in and our campers coming in, they're going to come in at 5:15 is when we're going to open a check-in tomorrow. It's a very seamless process because we already have things out. I have it printed out for, some of the folks that are going to help take that. We'll probably have 3 tables set up. And so they'll come into the weight room, report to those tables. We're just going to check them in. And then you'll get an official roster of who is here and who isn't that you can compare to what you'll get tomorrow morning or tonight. And then those kids will then report to that field space that you should be at. I would have counselors in the field house that we can give those kids to. Boys lacrosse, girls lacrosse, any counselors you can have, tennis, so that way they can hold those kids and make sure they go to the right spots. That's important, and that's going to be the first experience they have with our camp, and so we want to make sure we do that right. Next, I'm telling my guys from Calvert Football to be there at 4:30 tomorrow because I want to make sure that we're set up and ready to rock and roll. I'm not going to expect us to be there or need to be there every day at that time, but I don't want us setting up and pulling things out at 5:30 when the parents are already arriving. And so my hope is that the parents will get here by 5:45 and be ready to roll. But I can promise you this, we should start camp at 6. I want to teach the parents and the kids about punctuality. I want our Cavaliers to understand and know that this is not something that we just expect as coaches here at Calvert High, but this is what should be expected in all avenues of sports and life. So we're going to start at 6 o'clock. We'll finish at 8:30. And so plan your practices accordingly. Get your counselors involved. So when I was saying about the rest of the week, when we look at the rest of the week going forward, we're going to be doing this Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and then there's a Saturday different deal. So Wednesday, we'll go 6 to 8:30. Obviously, kids will arrive a little sooner, so we need to make sure that we have the opportunity to rally them around. The way it works on Thursday, Friday is they report directly to you. There's no check-in process. So you should tell those campers when you want them to be there. Hey, folks, moms and dads, get the kids here at 5:45. We're going to start 6, 5:30, whatever. But just make sure your field and your counselors are there beforehand, unless there's an emergency or a coach is coming in late or you already know of a reason why someone might be coming in late or whatever. All right. We have those 3 days, and then Saturday is a different day. Saturday is like the culminating event. For football, we're going to have a combine. So they're going to go through stations and do different things that, pertain to sport. Flip tires, pull sleds, throw the ball the farthest, whatever. I think baseball had like a home run derby. All those things are great. I don't know what you guys have in store, but Saturday is kind of a flex day. You'll get in the schedule of what it looks like for Saturday, because Saturday, we not only do that, but we host a little bit of a fellowship, time for the parents, the players of our sports, and, all the coaches. We'll hand out some refreshments, some drinks, and we'll close it out. That time is obviously 9 to 11, but we need to be there a little earlier to make sure our areas are set up. My guys will probably be there closer to 7:30, 8 o'clock, so we're set up when those kids arrive again. And then we'll probably stay till 12:30, make sure everything's cleaned up. On top of that, Ms. McIntosh will be there, and she wants to take a huge camp photo with everybody. And so, she'll be around throughout the entire camp experience taking pictures. Please use those pictures for your program. When you talk about building up to your season and the community service that you have provided, you definitely want to sell these moments. And she has great images that she'll have of your athletes, your student athletes, and the campers and the coaches of all. And so with that, we will be wearing shirts. That's included as far as the camp experience. So you all will have a shirt. They'll be gold. The quote this year, or the saying this year, is set the pace. And so set the pace means that, we're looking to be the positive attitude that changes everything. And so setting that positive attitude that changes everything is kind of the slogan. You'll be in gold shirts. The campers will get blue shirts, so that way we don't worry about them having shirts that are a little bit dirty or anything like that. I'm looking at my puppies, and they found something that they're eating, so I'm gonna have to figure that out in a minute. That's the way that looks. Each night after the camp is finished, they can bring their shirts. All your counselors and coaches can bring their shirts. There'll be separate piles that you want to put them into a laundry bag, and we will wash them and have them ready to go tomorrow. That's easy enough. That way the kids can come back with their fresh shirt, but more importantly, they have the shirt. Because I don't know about you, but I can tell you some of our guys will forget their shirts. And we want to be in uniform. I think, again, that's a representation of our structure and organization that we have in our program, and we want our kids and everybody else to see that. So that's that. You don't have to do that, but we do want to make sure that we have those shirts on each and every day. Lastly, we obviously have to understand and remember what it looks like if we have a weather issue. All right, so the weather contingency is this. Since we're doing 3 camp days of instruction and Saturday's that flex day in which we're doing a culminating event, I'm going to put into a letter and email to the parents that if we lose a day of instruction, a whole wash, we have to can it prior to the event. I'm going to send an email out, tell them it's done. We'll shift all of our days back on, and Saturday will be that overflow day. We'll ask the parents to be here at 8 o'clock on Saturday instead of 9, and we'll get things going, and we'll still have the fellowship food. We'll still have the picture. We'll still do all those things, but that stuff will be there, but we may not have the culminating event unless you can work it in. We would not have the obstacle course, for example, or the combine, if you will. So be aware of that. And that's what the weather contingency looks like. So we have to have that planned on. If something happens and we have a storm that shows up at some point, and the buzzer goes off, we want to encourage all of our parents and kids to go to their cars if they're there. If a kid doesn't have a parent there, then we want to take them and go into the weight room, and we'll all stow into the weight room. Jason could be around. If he knows that there's going to be these pop-up storms, he will be in the area, and if necessary, we'll get into the building. We're not looking or interested in trying to host camp in the building because I don't see how that's possible with all the sports we have and what you guys are trying to accomplish out in the field. We'll just go in the building, and if we get most of the camp in, then we'll just consider that a camp as being done and then move on to the next day. I hope that makes sense. The shirts, going back to the shirts, we will pass out the shirts on Friday. So you'll get a bag with the shirts. They'll be labeled for each player or student athlete in your group who's a camper. You'll give them to the student athletes, and we'll ask them to all come wearing them on Saturday morning. And that means that they'll be in their blue shirts, we'll be in the gold shirts, and we'll all be in uniform taking our picture. In closing, all right, I know I've covered a lot. Please feel free to text me if any questions you have. But in closing, I just want to say thank you again. I appreciate you guys. I want you guys to go out and have fun this week. It should be fun. I'm excited about it. Know that you guys and what you do in serving our community is something that I'm very proud to be a part of. I know Coach Cranford's proud to be a part of it. Our kids are blessed to have you as their coaches and their mentor leaders. And I just get excited when we're able to share that with the community. And that's what this is all about. And so please keep your eyes and ears close to everything. And let me know if there's anything you think that we could do better. The parts that I have a responsibility to getting this thing going, let me know if there's something that I can do to help make this thing thrive and grow. I want to serve you. I want to serve our school. I want to be able to serve our kids because that's what this is all about. So with that, I appreciate you guys. Please, again, feel free to send me questions. I look forward to working with you this week. I'm out. Boom.